Admiral Nixis stood at the bridge of the Craxian warship Stellar Dominance, her iridescent scales reflecting the blue marble of Earth below. The planet looked deceptively peaceful, another primitive world ripe for conquest by the Craxian Empire. Their species had subjugated dozens of worlds across 3 galaxies, their crystalline technology far superior to anything these humans could muster. Final preparations complete, Admiral, reported Navigation Officer Zexer, his metallic fingers dancing across the holographic controls. Our invasion force stands ready. Shall I begin atmospheric entry protocols? Nixis's secondary hearts pulsed with anticipation. The briefings had painted Earth as an unremarkable planet, its only notable feature being the unusual concentration of liquid water. Their surveillance had shown primitive combustion vehicles, basic digital networks, and laughably simple space vessels that barely reached their own moon. Commence the operation, Nixis commanded, her voice resonating with the characteristic harmonic undertones of her species. Remember, minimal damage to infrastructure. The Empire needs this world's resources intact. The first wave of drop ships descended through Earth's atmosphere, their crystalline hulls gleaming in the morning sun. Inside each vessel, Craxian warriors stood ready, their biomechanical armor systems primed for combat. They had conquered worlds with gravity ranging from 0.3 to 1.2 times their homeworld's pull. Earth, at 1.0 g, should have been perfectly manageable. They were wrong. The first indication that something was amiss came during the descent. The drop ship's inertial compensators, calibrated for dozens of different planetary conditions, began reporting anomalous readings. The gravity wasn't just pulling down, it seemed to be pulling differently. Admiral, Zexer's voice carried an unfamiliar note of concern. The planetary gravitational field, it's not behaving according to our models. Before Nixis could respond, the first distress signals began flooding in. Drop ships were struggling to maintain their descent trajectories. Their crystalline technology, designed to work in harmony with natural forces, was encountering something it had never faced before, Earth's unique gravitational field, shaped by the planet's dense iron core and complex geological composition. On the ground, the situation rapidly deteriorated. Craxian warriors, used to moving with fluid grace in their powered armor, found themselves struggling against an inexplicable heaviness. Their crystalline weapons, which channeled energy through precisely calibrated gravitational lenses, began malfunctioning. Lieutenant Rexus, leading the ground forces, watched in horror as his elite units stumbled like children taking their first steps. Their armor, typically responsive to the slightest thought, felt like it was filled with lead. The crystalline lattice that powered their systems was being distorted by Earth's gravity in ways their scientists had never anticipated. "This is impossible," Rexus growled into his comm unit. "Command, our weapons are barely functioning. The gravity, it's not just the strength, there's something else. Something our sensors aren't detecting." High above, Admiral Nixis received increasingly desperate reports from her landing forces. The Craxian Empire had based their entire technological civilization on manipulating and channeling gravitational forces. Their weapons, their ships, even their communication systems all relied on precise gravitational calculations. Earth's gravity wasn't just stronger than expected, it was fundamentally different from anything they had encountered before. "Admiral," Zexer's voice was now tight with genuine fear, "we're detecting human military vehicles approaching our landing zones. They're moving normally. As if the gravity isn't affecting them at all." Nixis watched through the ship's sensors as human military forces began to mobilize. While her warriors struggled to move in their advanced armor, human soldiers sprinted across the battlefield with practiced ease. Their primitive projectile weapons, unaffected by the gravitational anomalies, functioned perfectly. The invasion that was supposed to be a simple show of force was quickly turning into a nightmare. Craxian warriors, among the most feared fighters in 3 galaxies, were being outmaneuvered by humans simply because the humans could move naturally in their own gravity. "Full retreat," Nixis finally ordered, her pride crumbling in the face of reality. "Get our forces back to the ships. All units, emergency extraction. But even retreat proved challenging. The drop ships, their crystalline engines struggling against Earth's peculiar gravitational field, could barely achieve liftoff. Many remained stranded, their advanced technology rendered nearly useless by the very force they had always relied upon. As the sun set on the first day of the invasion, Admiral Nixis faced an uncomfortable truth: they had grievously underestimated not just humanity's defensive capabilities, but the very nature of their world. Earth's gravity, seemingly simple in their initial surveys, had proved to be humanity's most powerful defender. The Craxian Empire, with all its technological might, had finally met its match, not in advanced weapons or superior tactics, but in the fundamental force that had shaped humanity since its beginning. Earth's gravity had done what no other defense could: it had turned the invaders' greatest strength into their greatest weakness. At the Pentagon's hastily assembled Extraterrestrial Defense Command, Dr. Rihanna Patel stared at the readings on her screen with growing amazement. As Earth's leading expert in gravitational physics, she had been immediately summoned when the alien ships first appeared. Now, surrounded by military officials and fellow scientists, she could hardly believe what the data was telling her. "This is extraordinary," she muttered, adjusting her glasses. "Their entire technology seems to be built around gravitational manipulation, but they fundamentally misunderstand Earth's gravitational field." Colonel Marcus Thompson, a weathered veteran with 30 years of service, leaned over her shoulder. "Break it down for those of us who didn't spend a decade studying gravity, Doctor." Rihanna pulled up a holographic model of Earth's gravitational field. "Look here. Earth's gravity isn't just about mass and pull. Our planet's iron core, tectonic plate movement, and magnetic field create subtle gravitational variations that these aliens clearly never encountered before. Their technology expects gravity to behave like a simple pulling force, but Earth's gravity is more like a complex dance." Across the room, Dr. James Hayashi, expert in xenotechnology, was examining captured pieces of the aliens' crystalline technology. "The complexity goes deeper," he added, holding up a fragment that sparkled under the harsh fluorescent lights. "These crystals are grown in specific gravitational conditions. Earth's gravity is literally warping their structural integrity." The implications were staggering. Humanity had stumbled upon an unexpected advantage: their planet's gravity was their ultimate defensive weapon. The very force that had shaped human evolution was now protecting them from an advanced alien threat. "We need to press this advantage," Colonel Thompson declared, his tactical mind already racing with possibilities. "Dr. Patel, how can we use this against them?" Rihanna's fingers flew across her keyboard, bringing up new simulations. "Their ships are still in low orbit, struggling against our gravitational field. If we can force them into specific atmospheric zones where the gravitational variations are strongest." The meeting was interrupted by urgent news from the front lines. The Craxian forces that hadn't managed to retreat were completely immobilized, their advanced armor systems turned into prismatic coffins by Earth's unrelenting gravity. But more concerning were the readings from orbit: the alien fleet was regrouping. "They're adaptable," warned Captain Diana Rodriguez, head of Space Command's Tactical Division. "They're already adjusting their ship configurations. We need to act fast." Dr. Hayashi's analysis provided another crucial piece of information. "Their communication systems rely on gravitational waves. In Earth's gravitational field, their signals are being distorted. They're literally fighting blind." The next few hours were a blur of activity. Teams of scientists and military strategists worked together, mapping Earth's gravitational anomalies and planning a defense that would use the planet itself as a weapon. They identified geographical locations where tectonic activity created the strongest gravitational distortions, natural traps for the alien technology. Rihanna found herself at the center of it all, her years of research suddenly vital to humanity's survival. "If we can lure their ships into these areas," she explained, highlighting several regions on the global map, "their systems will be completely overwhelmed." Colonel Thompson was already coordinating with military commands worldwide. We're positioning our forces around these gravitational hotspots. But we need a way to force them down from orbit. What about the old missile defense systems? Captain Rodriguez suggested. Not to destroy them, just to herd them into the zones we choose. As the strategy took shape, Dr. Hayashi made another breakthrough with the captured alien technology. These crystals, they're not just their technology, they're part of their biology too. Their entire species evolved in a very specific gravitational environment. Earth's gravity isn't just disabling their weapons, it's physically exhausting them. This revelation added a new dimension to their defense plans. The Craxians weren't just fighting against malfunctioning equipment, they were fighting against the very nature of Earth itself. Every moment they spent in Earth's gravity weakened them further. As night fell over the Pentagon, the combined human forces were ready. Early warning systems detected the Craxian fleet regrouping for another attack, but this time, Earth was prepared. Rihanna looked at her gravitational models one last time, triple-checking her calculations. Remember, she addressed the military commanders, we don't need to destroy them. Earth's gravity will do most of the work. We just need to guide them into the right places. Colonel Thompson nodded grimly. For the first time in history, we're going to weaponize the very thing that's kept us grounded. Let's show these aliens why humanity has thrived under this gravity they find so hostile. The pieces were in place. As humanity prepared for the next phase of the battle, they knew they had transformed their planet's greatest constant into their greatest weapon. The weight of Earth itself would soon prove to be the decisive factor in humanity's first interstellar war. The pre-dawn sky blazed with unnatural light as the Craxian fleet began their second assault. Despite their earlier setbacks, Admiral Nixis had refused to admit defeat. The Empire's honor demanded victory, even as their sensors screamed warnings about Earth's treacherous gravitational field. We've recalibrated our systems, Zexer announced, though uncertainty tinged his voice. The crystal matrices have been reinforced. We should be able to compensate for the planetary anomalies. In the Pentagon's command center, Dr. Rihanna Patel watched the alien ships descend. Her gravitational monitoring system tracked their every move, mapping their trajectory against Earth's natural gravitational traps. They're taking the bait, she whispered, watching the fleet move exactly where they wanted them. Colonel Thompson coordinated with Global Defense Forces through a series of encrypted channels. All units hold position. Let them come to us. Remember, we're not fighting them, Earth is fighting for us. The Craxians' new attack strategy quickly became apparent. Instead of a broad invasion, they concentrated their forces on a single location, the American Midwest. Their ships formed a tight formation, their crystalline hulls resonating in harmony to create a shared gravitational field. Clever, Dr. Hayashi commented, studying the readings. They're trying to create their own gravitational bubble to shield themselves from Earth's influence. But Earth had other plans. As the alien fleet passed over the Rocky Mountains, they encountered the first of humanity's traps. The complex interaction between the mountain's massive granite formations and the underlying tectonic plates created a gravitational eddy that caught the Craxian ships like leaves in a whirlpool. Their formation is breaking apart, Captain Rodriguez reported, watching the tactical display. Moving to Phase 2. Around the world, human forces activated massive underground resonators, devices built in secret during the Cold War and now repurposed for an entirely different kind of defense. These machines, synchronized with Earth's natural frequency, amplified the planet's gravitational distortions. Admiral Nixis felt her ship shudder as the carefully maintained gravitational bubble collapsed. Impossible, she snarled, watching her fleet scatter across the American sky. How are they controlling the planet's gravity? The truth was, humans weren't controlling anything, they were simply working in harmony with their world's natural forces. Centuries of living under Earth's heavy embrace had taught humanity lessons the Craxians were only now beginning to understand. Ground forces moved into position, but not to engage the aliens directly. Instead, Teams of scientists and military personnel operated portable gravitational sensors, mapping the invisible currents that were slowly but surely dragging the alien ships down. In orbit, the Craxian support vessels faced their own crisis. Earth's upper atmosphere, charged with electromagnetic energy from a timely solar storm, created gravitational fluctuations that played havoc with their navigational systems. Cut off from their ground forces, the orbital fleet could only watch as Earth's gravity claimed their invasion force. Dr. Patel's voice was tense as she tracked the cascading effects. The gravitational resonance is spreading through their crystal technology. It's like watching a chain reaction in slow motion. One by one, Craxian ships were forced to land, their anti-gravity systems overwhelmed by the combined effect of Earth's natural gravity and the amplified distortions. Those that resisted found their crystalline hulls developing microscopic fractures as Earth's relentless pull stressed the alien materials beyond their limits. Lieutenant Rexus, still struggling in his malfunctioning armor, watched in horror as the mighty Craxian fleet was grounded by an invisible force they couldn't fight. Their weapons, designed to manipulate gravity itself, were worse than useless. They were dangerous to their own forces in Earth's strange gravitational environment. Admiral, Zexer's voice cracked with desperation, we're detecting gravitational waves unlike anything in our databases. The humans, they're not just using their planet's gravity, they're dancing with it. The final phase of humanity's defense proved to be the most elegant. As the Craxian ships lay scattered across the landscape, human forces simply waited. Every attempt by the aliens to repair their systems or adjust to Earth's gravity was met with failure. Their mighty empire, built on the manipulation of gravitational forces, had been humbled by a gravity they couldn't comprehend or control. In the Pentagon, Colonel Thompson watched the alien forces' energy signatures grow weaker. Sometimes, he mused, the best weapon is the one that's been beneath our feet all along. Dr. Patel nodded, still monitoring the gravitational fluctuations. Earth has been preparing us for this moment for millions of years. We didn't just evolve under this gravity, we learned to thrive in it. The battle wasn't won with advanced weapons or overwhelming force. It was won by the simple, inexorable pull of Earth itself, defending its children in the most fundamental way possible. Sunrise painted the Kansas plains in golden hues, highlighting the crystalline wreckage of the once mighty Craxian fleet. Dr. Rihanna Patel stood beside a fallen alien ship, her gravitational sensors recording readings that would revolutionize human understanding of physics. Each crystal tells a story, she explained to the assembled international science team. Their entire civilization evolved in a gravitational field so uniform, so predictable, that they never imagined something like Earth could exist. Around the world, similar scenes played out as humanity dealt with the aftermath of their unconventional victory. The remaining Craxian forces had surrendered, their advanced technology rendered nearly useless by Earth's persistent gravitational embrace. In a heavily guarded conference room at the United Nations, Admiral Nixis faced a panel of Earth's leaders. Her crystalline translator struggled against the gravitational interference, but her message was clear: we miscalculated. Not just your planet's defenses, but your species' fundamental nature. Dr. James Hayashi, studying the alien admirals' biological readings, noted how even their bodies struggled with Earth's gravity. Your entire evolution took place in a gravitational environment completely different from ours, he observed. That's why your crystal technology is so advanced, you needed it just to explore space. The revelation transformed humanity's understanding of their place in the galaxy. Earth, once thought to be unremarkable, was revealed to be extraordinary. Its complex gravitational field, shaped by its iron core, tectonic activity, and magnetic dynamics, was unlike anything the Craxians had encountered in their vast empire. Colonel Thompson, now heading the newly formed Planetary Defense Initiative, worked with international teams to establish Earth's first line of gravitational monitoring stations. We're not just detecting potential threats, he explained during a global security briefing. We're learning to work with our planet's natural defenses. The scientific community buzzed with new discoveries. Dr. Patel's team found that Earth's gravity wasn't just stronger than most inhabited worlds, it was more complex, more dynamic. The very force that had challenged humanity throughout their evolution had become their greatest asset. Think of it like a fingerprint, she explained to a captivated audience at the International Science Summit. Every planet has gravity, but Earth's gravitational field is unique. It's not just about strength, it's about pattern, complexity, and constant change. The Craxian survivors provided unexpected insights. Their scientists, though initially reluctant, began sharing knowledge about gravitational physics from their perspective. The exchange revealed how their civilization had developed along a completely different path, mastering the manipulation of simple gravitational fields but never encountering anything like Earth's dynamic gravity. Captain Rodriguez, working with a joint human-Craxian team, discovered something remarkable: their ship's crystals aren't just breaking down, they're adapting. Slowly, but surely, they're beginning to resonate with Earth's gravitational patterns. This discovery led to new avenues of research. If alien technology could adapt to Earth's gravity, humanity might learn to harness their planet's unique gravitational signature. The possibilities were staggering: natural planetary defense systems, revolutionary space travel, and technologies that worked in harmony with Earth's fundamental forces. At a secure facility in Geneva, Dr. Hayashi made another breakthrough. The Craxians' biological dependence on their crystal technology isn't just about tools or weapons, he reported. It's about compensation. Their species evolved in an environment so different from Earth that they needed technology just to explore the galaxy. This understanding reshaped humanity's approach to space exploration. Instead of fighting against Earth's gravity, new designs embraced it. Ships and stations were conceived to work with gravitational fluctuations rather than against them. Admiral Nixus, still adapting to Earth's conditions, offered a final insight during peace negotiations: "Your world didn't just defeat us, it showed us our own limitations. We built an empire on the assumption that all worlds would bend to our understanding of gravity. Earth taught us otherwise." As the sun set on another day of rapid scientific advancement, Dr. Patel stood at her laboratory window, watching the play of light on recovered Craxian crystals. "We spent centuries thinking Earth's gravity was holding us back," she mused to Colonel Thompson. "In reality, it was preparing us for our place among the stars." The victory over the Craxians hadn't just saved Earth, it had revealed humanity's unique advantage in the cosmic arena. Their world's powerful, complex gravity had shaped them into a species uniquely suited to defend their home and, perhaps, to help forge a new understanding of how life could adapt to the most challenging conditions the universe had to offer. 1 year after the failed Craxian invasion, Earth had transformed from an isolated world into a gravitational fortress of galactic significance. The planet's unique properties had not only defended humanity but had revolutionized their understanding of their place in the cosmos. At the newly established Gravitational Sciences Institute in Geneva, Dr. Riana Patel led a diverse team of human and alien scientists. The facility's main hall housed a massive holographic display of known space, with worlds now coded not by size or composition, but by gravitational complexity. "Earth sits here," she indicated to a gathering of international leaders, pointing to a bright point pulsing with intricate patterns. "We've confirmed that fewer than 1 in 1,000 habitable worlds share our gravitational characteristics. We're not just rare, we're nearly unique." The implications of this discovery had rippled across human civilization. Space agencies worldwide had shifted their focus from traditional rocket designs to gravity-harmonizing vessels. The first prototype, the GSV Horizon, prepared for its maiden voyage, incorporating both human ingenuity and adapted Craxian crystal technology. Dr. James Hayashi, now heading the Xenobiology division, had made another crucial discovery. "Living under Earth's intense gravitational field didn't just make us physically stronger," he explained during a global broadcast. "It forced our bodies to develop remarkable adaptability. We're essentially preconditioned for space exploration in ways other species aren't." The diplomatic landscape had shifted dramatically as well. The Craxian Empire, humbled by their defeat, had evolved from would-be conquerors to reluctant but valuable allies. Other spacefaring civilizations, learning of Earth's unique properties, approached with caution and respect rather than conquest in mind. Colonel Thompson, addressing the United Nations Security Council, summarized humanity's new position: "We've gone from being an isolated species to becoming the gatekeepers of what might be the most valuable gravitational training ground in this sector of the galaxy." The changes weren't just military or scientific. Earth's gravity had become a resource in itself. Alien species seeking to expand their space exploration capabilities began requesting permission to establish training facilities on Earth. Each delegation brought new knowledge, technology, and opportunities for cooperation. "It's ironic," Captain Rodriguez noted during a joint training exercise with former Craxian warriors. "Their invasion failed, but they gave us something invaluable, the knowledge that our greatest perceived weakness was actually our greatest strength." The revelation had profound effects on human psychology and culture. The very force that humans had long viewed as a constraint, the thing that made space travel so challenging, had become their greatest asset. Art, literature, and popular culture began celebrating Earth's gravity as a protective embrace rather than a restrictive chain. Dr. Patel's team made another groundbreaking discovery while studying adapted Craxian crystals. "These formations aren't just adapting to Earth's gravity," she announced. "They're developing properties we've never seen before. By learning to resonate with our planet's complex gravitational field, they're becoming something entirely new." This discovery led to the development of hybrid technologies that combined Earth's gravitational dynamics with alien crystal science. The applications ranged from revolutionary medical treatments to enhanced global communication systems that used Earth's gravitational field as a natural encryption method. Admiral Nixis, now serving as the Craxian ambassador to Earth, addressed the Global Science Congress: "Our defeat here has transformed both our societies. We came seeking to conquer a world we thought was weak. Instead, we found strength in a form we never imagined possible." As humanity looked to the stars with new confidence, they carried with them a profound understanding: Earth's gravity hadn't been a challenge to overcome, but a gift preparing them for their cosmic destiny. Their world's powerful embrace had shaped them into a species uniquely qualified to handle the rigors of space exploration. The final breakthrough came when Dr. Hayashi's team decoded the full implications of human gravitational adaptation. "We're not just surviving under Earth's gravity," he revealed. "We're the product of millions of years of evolution under these conditions. This makes us natural pioneers, able to adapt to gravitational conditions that would crush other species." As the sun set on another day of discovery, Dr. Patel stood in her laboratory, watching a new generation of students, human and alien alike, learning to understand and work with Earth's gravitational forces. The failed invasion had opened a door to a future no one could have predicted, where humanity's greatest perceived limitation had become their greatest gift to the galaxy. "We spent centuries dreaming of escaping Earth's gravity," she reflected, only to discover it was preparing us all along for something greater, to be the guardians of a force that could reshape our understanding of the universe itself.